Automotive history is filled with bold experiments, high-stakes engineering, and breakthroughs that changed how the world views performance. Among the countless car makers who dared to push limits, Chevrolet stands out as one of the most relentless. What began as a nameplate producing practical vehicles evolved into a performance powerhouse that rivals and often surpasses the biggest names in the industry. Over decades, Chevy engineers took on the challenge of building cars that could dominate the street, own the track, and make enthusiasts dream about raw, unfiltered horsepower. From naturally aspirated screamers to hybrid monsters that blend combustion with electric torque, Chevy has proven that muscle isn't just about cubic inches anymore, it's about engineering brilliance. In this video, we'll explore 12 of the most powerful Chevrolets ever produced, looking at what made them legends, the engines under their hoods, and why they've etched themselves into performance history. Number 12. 2026. Corvette ZR1X. The 2026 Corvette ZR1X isn't just another step in the Corvette's evolution, it's a leap that borders on reckless brilliance. Chevrolet decided the usual wasn't enough, so they built a monster with 1,250 horsepower from a twin-turbo 5.5L flat-plane crank V8, assisted by hybrid electrification. The result is a car that doesn't whisper about the future, it screams it. This machine isn't just an exercise in raw output. The ZR1X is expected to deliver balance that matches its aggression, with advanced all-wheel drive and aerodynamics sculpted for maximum efficiency. Forget the old formula of rear drive only. This Corvette is bred to dominate every inch of tarmac, whether it's a long straight or a sharp hairpin. Performance figures read like a dare. A top speed potentially above 230 mph and acceleration on par with European hypercars cement its place in automotive history before it even rolls into dealerships. But it's not about chasing Ferrari or McLaren. It's about Chevrolet declaring it can do more than keep up. It can set the bar. The ZR1X isn't just about horsepower wars. It's about redefining what American performance looks like in a world rapidly embracing electrification. It takes the essence of Corvette heritage and infuses it with technology that refuses to play by old rules. For anyone who thought hybridization meant compromise, the ZR1X is the answer that proves otherwise. Number 11. 2025 Corvette ZR1. Before the ZR1X rewrites the Corvette script, the 2025 ZR1 plays the role of a proper heavyweight. It arrives with a twin-turbo 5.5L V8 that pumps out 1,064 horsepower, a number that would have been unthinkable for a production Corvette not long ago. Turbocharging replaces supercharging, marking a deliberate shift in how Chevy approaches performance. This ZR1 is expected to clock a top speed around 215 mph with acceleration that turns racetrack straights into blurs. But raw numbers aren't the only story. Active aerodynamics and a refined mid-engine platform mean the ZR1 is about composure as much as chaos. The balance of savage power with control is what makes this Corvette an engineering statement, not just a horsepower headline. For fans of the C7 generation who thought the peak had been reached, the 2025 ZR1 delivers a polite correction. It shows that Chevrolet has no intention of settling, even as the industry pivots toward hybrids and electrification. The ZR1 lives in the middle ground, still true to combustion, but clearly leaning into the future. It's a bridge model, yes, but bridges matter. The 2025 ZR1 demonstrates that while the ZR1X will be remembered for its hybrid punch, this car proves the Corvette spirit isn't fading. It's simply evolving with power levels that leave rivals looking unprepared. Number 10. 2018 Corvette ZR1 C7. The 2018 Corvette ZR1 was Chevrolet's farewell letter to the front-engine Corvette. And it wasn't a quiet goodbye. With a 6.2L supercharged LT5 V8 producing 755 horsepower, it stood as the most powerful Corvette of its time. A massive wing and aggressive aerodynamics made it clear this car wasn't designed for subtlety, it was born for the track. At full tilt, the C7 ZR1 reached 212 mph, becoming the fastest production Corvette ever produced up to that point. But what made it special was its ability to compete with far pricier European exotics on road courses. It had the speed, the grip, and the kind of audacity only a front-engine V8 Corvette could deliver. This ZR1's importance isn't just in the numbers. It represented the pinnacle of a design philosophy that defined Corvette for decades. Once Chevrolet announced the Corvette would move to a mid-engine platform, the C7 ZR1 instantly became a piece of history. The last of its kind and the best expression of what that formula could achieve. For enthusiasts, the 2018 ZR1 was more than a performance machine. It was a symbol of an era. Today, it still commands respect as the Corvette that closed one chapter with a roar, paving the way for a bold new one. Number 9. 2022 Corvette Z06. When the 2022 Corvette Z06 debuted, it felt like Chevrolet had tricked the rulebook. While rivals chased forced induction and hybrid systems, the Z06 showed up with a naturally aspirated 5.5L flat-plane crank V8, producing 670 horsepower, the most powerful naturally aspirated V8 in production car history. It revved high, it like a race car, and it delivered thrills without leaning on turbos or batteries. The Z06 wasn't built to dominate quarter-mile bragging rights. Instead, its focus was surgical precision, handling sharpened by motorsport-derived engineering, a chassis built for grip, and an exhaust note that stirred the soul made it one of the most complete driver's cars ever to wear the Corvette badge. Numbers still impressed. Its track times proved that it wasn't just good for an American car. It was good, period. It went toe-to-toe with high-dollar European supercars while maintaining an attainable price point that defined Corvette's identity. The 2022 Z06 also carried symbolic weight. It showed that even in an era obsessed with electrification, there was still room for a naturally aspirated masterpiece. For purists, it was Chevrolet tipping its hat to tradition while reminding everyone it could deliver innovation without losing soul. Number 8. 2023 Corvette E-Ray. 655 horsepower. The 2023 Corvette E-Ray shook up tradition by becoming the first hybrid and the first all-wheel drive Corvette. For a nameplate so tied to rear-wheel-driven muscle, this was a bold step. At its core sits the familiar 6.2L LT2 V8, paired with an electric motor driving the front wheels. Together, they unleash 655 horsepower. What makes the E-Ray stand out is how it uses electricity. Forget the idea of hybrids being soft, economy-focused commuters. The electric motor provides instant torque, catapulting the car forward with ruthless efficiency. Chevy's official figure of 0 to 60 mph in 2.5 seconds puts the E-Ray in the territory of elite performance machines. This wasn't just about speed, though. The all-wheel drive system made the Corvette suddenly competent in conditions where earlier generations would sit parked in the garage. Rain, cold, or even light snow, the E-Ray had the grip and confidence to keep moving. For longtime Corvette owners, this was an entirely new experience. Some skeptics questioned whether electrification would dilute the Corvette's soul. The E-Ray answered that with a resounding no. Instead of compromise, it proved that technology could amplify what makes the Corvette special. Brutal acceleration, enhanced cornering stability, and year-round usability made it not only groundbreaking, but also practical in a way Corvettes rarely were. Number 7. 2012. Corvette ZR1 C6, 638 horsepower. The C6 ZR1, launched in 2009 and running through 2013, was Chevrolet's declaration that the Corvette could go toe-to-toe with the best in the world. At its heart was the supercharged 6.2L LS9 V8, a hand-built masterpiece producing 638 horsepower. At the time, this was a staggering figure for an American sports car, and it wasn't just headline fluff. The ZR1 came armed with technology usually seen on European exotics wearing six-figure price tags. Lightweight carbon fiber panels reduced weight. Brembo carbon ceramic brakes provided relentless stopping power, and magnetic ride control gave it the adaptability to dominate both road and track. Performance backed up the hardware. The C6 ZR1 demolished lap times and humbled competitors costing twice as much. Its 205 mph top speed made it the fastest production Corvette yet, but what impressed most was how well-rounded it was. This wasn't just a brute force machine. It was precise, refined, and comfortable enough to live with. Enthusiasts quickly realized they weren't just looking at another Corvette. They were witnessing a car that elevated the brand's reputation globally. The C6 ZR1 didn't simply join the conversation of supercars, it forced its way to the head of the table. Number 6. 2020 Camaro ZL1 LE, 650 horsepower. The 2020 Camaro ZL1 LE was Chevrolet's way of proving the Camaro wasn't content to live in the Corvette's shadow. Armed with a supercharged 6.2L V8 pushing out 650 horsepower, it had the muscle. But raw power was only part of the story. Its real trick was how it handled. Chevy equipped the ZL1 or 1LE with advanced aerodynamics, including an aggressive front splitter and a massive rear wing designed for serious downforce. Underneath, Multimatic DSSV spool valve dampers gave the suspension the precision of a race car. Sticky Goodyear Eagle F1 Supercar 3R tires completed the package, turning this Camaro into a corner-carving menace. The result was a track-focused machine that didn't bother pretending to be comfortable. The ride was harsh, the cabin loud, and daily driving could feel punishing. But that was never the point. The ZL111LE was built for enthusiasts who valued lap times over luxury, and on the track, it delivered devastating performance. While the Corvette still held the title of Chevy's flagship, the ZL111LE carved its own reputation as a weaponized pony car. It wasn't trying to be balanced or polite, it was engineered to push limits. For those who wanted a raw, unapologetic thrill ride, this Camaro was the perfect answer. Number 5. 2015 Corvette Z06, 650 horsepower. The 2015 Corvette Z06 arrived as a thunderous statement. Equipped with the supercharged 6.2L LT4 V8, it produced 650 horsepower and 650 lb-ft of torque, instantly placing it near the top of the performance car hierarchy. It wasn't just power, though. It was how Chevy packaged that performance. The Z06 could be configured with the Z07 performance package, which added aerodynamic upgrades, Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2 tires, and carbon ceramic brakes. These enhancements transformed it into a genuine track-day predator, capable of pulling over 1.2 G in cornering and lapping circuits at times that embarrassed far pricier rivals. Cooling was another focus. With improved airflow and heat management, the Z06 was designed to endure extended high-performance driving without breaking a sweat. It blurred the line between road car and race car in a way few vehicles in its price bracket could match. For enthusiasts, the 2015 Z06 was a sweet spot in the Corvette lineup. It delivered ZR1-level thrills without requiring ZR1-level money, making it both attainable and ferocious. The combination of sheer output, advanced engineering, and aggressive design cemented its place as one of the most important Corvettes of the modern era. Number 4. 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6, 450 horsepower. The 1970 Chevelle SS 454 LS6 wasn't just another car from Chevrolet's lineup. It was the undisputed king of the muscle car era. Officially rated at 450 horsepower, the LS6 was widely believed to make well over 500 in reality. Chevy wasn't exactly eager to print the true numbers, but enthusiasts knew what was hiding under that cowl induction hood. Powered by a massive 454 cubic inch big block V8, the LS6 was a factory-built menace. Quarter miles vanished in the low 13-second range, numbers that humiliated most competitors of the time. It wasn't about refinement, and it wasn't about comfort. It was about intimidation. The Chevelle SS 454 was the car that made bystanders think twice before lining up next to it at a stoplight. Its styling was bold without being overcomplicated. A wide stance, optional racing stripes, and the unmistakable rumble of that big block announced its presence long before it rolled into view. It wasn't just fast. It looked the part, too. More than 5 decades later, the LS6 still sits at the top of the muscle car food chain. It's a machine that defined an era of excess horsepower, cheap gas, and uncompromised street dominance. For Chevrolet, it cemented a reputation as the automaker that could deliver the most brutal form of American performance. Number 3, 2019 Camaro ZL1, 650 horsepower. The 2019 Camaro ZL1 carried the LT4 supercharged 6.2L V8 from the Corvette Z06 straight into Chevy's pony car, and the result was 650 horsepower and 650 lb-ft of torque. This wasn't just about straight-line bravado. The ZL1 blended muscle with engineering precision, giving the Camaro lineup its most complete performance car ever. With an available 6-speed manual or lightning-fast 10-speed automatic, the ZL1 adapted to different drivers' tastes. The car hit 0 to 60 mph in about 3.5 seconds and pushed past 200 mph, making it a supercar-level performer hiding in Camaro clothing. Chevrolet also ensured it wasn't just a straight-line bruiser. Aerodynamic upgrades, advanced cooling systems, and finely tuned chassis dynamics gave the ZL1 serious track day credibility. Magnetic ride control, Brembo brakes, and available performance packages made it equally comfortable annihilating road courses as it was tearing down drag strips. The 2019 ZL1's real strength was balance. It proved that the Camaro wasn't simply playing second fiddle to the Corvette. Instead, it became a complete performance machine, offering brutal acceleration, razor-sharp handling, and enough refinement to handle daily use. For Chevy fans, it was proof the Camaro could flex its muscle in ways no one expected. Number 2. 1969 Camaro ZL1, 430 horsepower. The 1969 Camaro ZL1 wasn't born out of marketing. It was born out of necessity. Thanks to the COPO program, Chevrolet quietly built just 69 of them, each powered by an all-aluminum 427 cubic inch V8. Officially rated at 430 horsepower, insiders knew the true number was closer to 500. It was, in essence, a factory drag racer dressed in showroom paint. The lightweight aluminum block gave the ZL1 a serious advantage over traditional big block irons. It delivered blistering performance straight off the lot, and in the right hands, it dominated drag strips. While Chevrolet intended it for racers, a handful inevitably ended up on the street, where they quickly became legends. Because of its rarity, the 1969 ZL1 Camaro is one of the most valuable muscle cars in history. Collectors consider it a holy grail, and surviving examples fetch astronomical prices today. But back in 1969, dealers struggled to sell them because the car was expensive and temperamental for casual buyers. That scarcity only adds to its mystique now. The ZL1 isn't remembered as just another Camaro variant. It's remembered as one of Chevrolet's boldest moves, a car built for speed above all else. Number 1. 1967 Corvette 8 horsepower. The 1967 Corvette L88 is the definition of forbidden fruit in Chevrolet's history. Rated at 430 horsepower, the reality was closer to 550. But Chevrolet deliberately downplayed its numbers. Why? They didn't want average buyers accidentally stepping into a car that was basically a race car with license plates. At its heart was a 427 cubic inch big block engineered for competition. It required 103 octane fuel, lacked a radio, and skipped creature comforts like air conditioning. This wasn't a car for Sunday cruising. It was a car built to dominate on the track. Only 20 examples were produced in 1967, making it one of the rarest Corvettes ever. Those who managed to get one weren't simply driving a Corvette. They were piloting a homologation special with parts and engineering far beyond what a dealership car typically offered. The L88's legend has only grown with time. It represents the ultimate Corvette of the C2 generation, a machine so powerful and raw that Chevrolet practically tried to keep it a secret. Today, it stands as one of the most coveted Corvettes in existence, not just for its rarity, but for the sheer audacity of what it represented. Chevrolet has built everything from family sedans to work trucks, but when it comes to performance, the brand has consistently delivered machines that leave a permanent mark on automotive history. From the thunderous muscle cars of the late 1960s and early 70s to today's high-tech hybrids producing well over 1,000 horsepower, Chevy has proven time and again that it knows how to make cars that stir the soul. The models we covered today represent the pinnacle of what Chevrolet has achieved in power and performance. Each one tells a story, not just of speed, but of innovation, risk-taking, and the relentless pursuit of more. And with future models like the ZR1X on the horizon, it's clear that Chevy's most powerful days may still lie ahead. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the most powerful Chevys ever made, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment letting us know your favorite Chevy of all time, and subscribe so you don't miss our next breakdown of automotive legends.